New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao! AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com.
And welcome to Steppin Out with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Howdy, Poppy.
Hey, Peg.
He's back, Don Scott Cooper, no relation, but production executive, director, and so many more things. He wears many hats at Le Petit Theatre. Good to see you, Don Scott. Hello.
Thanks, Peggy Scott.
Hello. And banjo player Detroit Brooks and the Dixie Cups Music Group will be with us to perform and talk about the upcoming Danny Barker Banjo and Guitar Festival. So exciting. And of course, Mr. Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. Hello.
Hello.
Miss Poppy, lots of restaurants.
Oh, I'm so excited. There's been so many restaurant openings, and now that we got Mardi Gras behind us, we can just talk turkey. And I'll tell you where we're starting off this week is on North Rampart Street at the location that a lot of people will remember as Mobar. Well, it's not Mobar anymore. It is someplace very special called Mamu. And Mamu is a collaboration between Molly Wismeyer and Chef Tom Brannigan. Now, let me just give you a little culinary lineage here. Molly Wismeyer is a nationally renowned sommelier who built that 10,000 bottle wine collection at Restaurant Revolution. Ooh. But she came to Restaurant Revolution from Charlie Trotter in Chicago. So Molly really is amazing. Food and Wine magazine named her in 2015 one of the top 7 sommeliers in the United States. Chef Tom Brannigan, who is just in his early 30s, hardly seems old enough to have done the things he's done. He actually worked with not only Joel Robuchon, but also Paul Bocuse. I don't know who in this city has those kind of chops. And so at Mamu, what they have done is a modern take on a Parisian bistro. If you're expecting dark and clubby like Mobar, forget it, because instead what you get is this beautiful Parisian bistro feel, and the red bean cassoulet speaks to the deep New Orleans roots of these people. It is delicious and perfect, and why has nobody ever done this before? And he sends it out finished with a little crystal hot sauce. Of course. And then other beautiful French takes like the salmon mi-cuit. There is, of course, the Côte de Boeuf that you would expect on the menu.
Of course.
Of course, of course. But let me tell you what, if you don't have the poisson à la Florentine, you've never lived. That is a perfectly cooked piece of fish on this beautiful spinach, cream spinach bed that's got caviar in it. But look at that beautiful thing on top. It was this pastry ring. I don't even know how they did it. It was fabulous. Now for dessert, do not miss the little warm madeleines that come out with creme anglaise, warm for dipping, and the wines and the champagnes and the everything. Go to Mamu. You're going to thank me for that one.
And you park on the street. You say it's easy to park.
Okay. It's just like it was with Mobar. And now, something else brand new. one of Leah's grands, one of the top grands, that would be Duke the Fourth. Well, he has opened up a new restaurant himself that's called Chapter 4. I think that's pretty clever. And of course, it's over on Gravier Street. I guess the site of the Warwick.
The Warwick Hotel, a long time ago.
That's where it is. And they're having brunch, breakfast and lunch there on Gravier, and cocktails too. And the space, look how interesting this space is. And they have, you know, if you're having cocktails, there's small bites like oyster Rockefeller and crab cakes and barbecued shrimp. Of course, there's grandmother's gumbo. You couldn't have a Chase restaurant without serving that. There's shareable dishes like crab fried rice, but also traditional red beans and rice. Because breakfast and lunch are served all day, there's fish and grits, there's oysters Benedict, but there's also beautiful grilled redfish, and the space is fabulous. And you just have to really wonder, is this going to be the new political hangout? Because it's right over there by the city council chambers and city hall. It has the potential. So anyway, head over to Chapter 4. It's fabulous. And then something new at a place that we've come to love recently, Miss River. That's Alan Shia's restaurant that he described as his love letter to Louisiana, that's in the Four Seasons. On Saturday and Sunday, they're hosting jazz brunch right here in the home of the jazz brunch with fried chicken and biscuits, clay pot dirty rice with duck eggs and pate, eggs creme de la creme over toasted brioche with hollandaise and caviar, shrimp and grits, pan perdu. You can have a 3-course family-style meal for just $70 per person. Of course, there's mimosas and Bloody Marys, but I suggest, along with the jazz, have the espresso martini, which is going to be flambéed tableside. What a way to end the meal.
Okay, thank you so much. And Cat on a Hot Tin Roof opens this weekend. And of course, Don Scott's going to tell us all about it. But let's just kick it off, though, with the scene of Maggie and Brick.
You can't be old without it. You gotta be old with money, because to be old without it is just too awful. You gotta be one or the other. Either young or with money, but you can't be old without it. That's the truth, Frank.
Well, Don Scott, I mean, right there, it's like you gotta go. But you gotta be so excited to have Tennessee Williams back at Le Petit.
I'm thrilled to have Tennessee Williams back on our stage, especially during the Tennessee Williams Festival.
Absolutely.
It's a great season for Tennessee, and his plays are always a great success in New Orleans.
Yes. And so tell us about the cast. It's really quite a lot of luminaries for local folks. Huh?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think we have this wonderful pairing, this young Brick and Maggie, Jonathan Merez and Mona Naswari. And then we've got these luminaries of the local stage, Silas Cooper playing Big Daddy and Liz Argus playing Big Mama, and Diana Shortez playing May, and Nick Strauss playing Gooper. So it's sort of a multi-generational cast, people who've been favorites on the New Orleans stages for generations, and a young up-and-coming young cast as well.
Just in case some folks are new to the play, though, of course, it all takes place on Big Daddy's plantation, and Brick has tripped after a slightly inebriated accident of trying to play football with a friend in the dark of night, and of course Maggie, they're estranged and they're trying to get together. That's the quickie version of all this, but there's lots of drama, isn't there?
There's a lot of drama, and it's one of Tennessee's most biting plays in terms of the dialogue and the story he tells. You know, it's a sultry southern night, and all of the skeletons come out of the closet, so to speak.
We don't want to give too much away, huh? But it's been an exciting season, and tell us what else you've got coming up.
You know, we have a great spring season. We're finishing off our spring season. We're doing Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. After that, on April 11th, we open August Wilson's How I Learn What I Learn, with local stage luminary Lance Nichols. This is a co-production with Portland Stage in Maine, so Lance is there now doing the show. He's coming down here in April to do it. We're thrilled. Lance was on stage doing the piano lesson when COVID shut us down, so it's so nice to welcome him back in another August Wilson play. This is August Wilson's story about growing up as a young man in the Hill District in Pittsburgh and how he learned to become an artist and how he became one of America's greatest playwrights. So it's a thrilling narrative.
And I understand in April you're going to be letting everybody know about the next season.
April 26th, we're going to have a season announcement party where we announce all the next season. And then we finish this season with Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. We're going to have Salvatore Menino back to direct that piece. Wildly theatrical piece, lots of projections and lights and sound, and it's going to be very exciting. And we have a great 3-play offer. You can get 3 plays for $75. It's an amazing deal. So why see one when you can see all 3?
Okay, LePetitTheatre.com. Go to their website. It's full of information. Thank you so much. And the legacy of beloved musician, guitarist, banjo player Danny Barker lives on, and we are so excited because the Dixie Cups, who were playing at the festival this weekend, came over to perform a song that Danny actually played for and performed and wrote for his beloved Lulu Barker, his wife. Detroit Brooks is one of the founders. Let's hear from Detroit and the Dixie Cups. Detroit Brooks, a founder of course, the Danny Barker Festival, and as you can see, guitarist and banjo player, just like Mr. Barker. You are passionate about Danny Barker. Why?
Because of Danny's contributions. You know, Danny left New Orleans and went to New York and stayed for a while, but he decided to come back and spread his knowledge with the youth of New Orleans, and that meant a lot.
He was a mentor to so many.
Yes, he was.
Now, you've got like over 30 events, and it's not just music, is it?
No, it's interviews.
Tell me about that.
There's interviews, dances. We got master classes, and stuff. It's a whole lot of information at the festival.
Well, we're going to show the website, and we're so glad that you could be with us. And you're going to be accompanying this amazing group, the Dixie Cups.
Yes,
all right,
pleasure.
Look at this. And Barbara, of course, you're an original Dixie Cup, you and your late sister. And tell us why you keep on going.
Well, before Rosa passed, she told me to keep the light burning, keep the name out there, keep making people smile.
How wonderful. And where are we going to see you in the next few weeks?
We're going to be at the French Quarter Fest, and after that, we're at the Jazz Fest.
All right. Not to be missed is a wonderful book that your late sister did. It really is written from the heart, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Apple of love, baby.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It will bring tears to your eyes. It was painful for her for a while, but it was her thoughts.
It tells the story.
Right.
Yeah, we're so glad you're here.
Right,
and Naydja, you are the newest member of the Dixie Cups, and you also have your own band as well, and you're very active around here too. The name of your band?
Naydja Cojoe and the Lanyards.
Naydja, was it hard to get into the groove of this music, or did you kind of grow up with it, even though I know you're a baby?
Yeah, well, thank you. My new BFF lady. It was very easy to embrace when you grow up around so many different things, different styles of music in New Orleans. So once I got asked to come and join,
you were in.
That was it.
And Athelgra, oh my goodness, Athelgra Neville Gabriel. The Neville sister, okay. So you've been singing a long time, and I know you have been singing with the Dixie Cups for a long time, and you all are childhood friends.
Right, yes. Right.
Just love it. So you were at the Nevilles, for the Neville house
right,
for a
well,
long time.
We used to sing background for art.
Oh my goodness, my goodness. And you're still at it today.
Well, I wasn't singing background with them.
Okay.
I didn't start until later.
Okay. Well, we're so glad that you did. You started, and you're with us, and we look forward to many more performances.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And now we're going to hear one of Danny Barker's tunes.
Right.
Don't You Feel My Leg. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Don't you feel my leg? Don't you feel my leg? 'Cause if you feel my leg, you're gonna feel my thigh. And if you feel my thigh, You wanna go up high, so don't you feel my leg. Don't you buy no ride, don't you buy no ride, 'cause if you buy some ride, you're gonna make me high. And if you make me high, you're gonna tell a lie, so don't you make me high. You said you'd take me out and treat me fine, but I know there's something you've got on your mind. If you keep drinking, you're gonna get fresh, then you'll wind up asking for this fine brown flesh. Don't you feel my leg? Don't you feel my leg? 'Cause if you feel my leg, you're gonna feel my thigh. And if you feel my thigh, you wanna go up high. So don't you feel my leg? So don't you feel my leg? So don't you feel my leg?
All right. Well, check out Danny Barker, festival.com, and there's a picture of Danny and his beloved Blulu, a wonderful song. Woo-hoo, double entendre to the max there. DannyBarkerFestival.com. And that book I highly recommend, Chapel of Love with the Dixie Cups. It's quite a story. And Iko Iko, all the backstory of these amazing songs. And if you want to find out more about the Dixie Cups, they have our website. Also, you can contact them too, the Dixie Cups at yahoo.com. We loved having them with us for today. Wow. And moving on to Mr. Allen.
And as I mentioned, both Rosa and Barbara worked at the Sanger Theatre for many years, working with them with their publicity department. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about white before we get started. White, the major question is put out by James I. James, is whether an artist can morally and ethically appropriate another person's ethnicity and gender for art's sake. He loosely based this on an actual incident that occurred in 2014 where an artist hired a black actress to portray a fictional character who presented his art as hers. In White, Gus, played by Matt Amato, convinces an actress named Vanessa, played by Tanaj Jackson, to front for him and claim his work as her own. From the beginning, we understand he does not consider himself as privileged because he is a gay artist. And all of his paintings feature textured canvases of white as a commentary of his own whiteness. But despite the talent, he soon learns he cannot be considered equally for inclusion in a new exhibit because he's not considered because basically his friend, the curator, Jane Forsyth, played by Grace Blakeman, explains that the museum wants to be more diverse and his race and gender disqualify him for primary consideration. That causes him to go down a deep rabbit hole. The role of Gus is pivotal because we must understand his motivation is really derived from artistic frustration and not overt racism. His partner, Tanner, as you can see, played by Matthew Thompson, is black and recognizes the pitfalls of his actions. He directly confronts Gus and points out the folly of his plot, as well as to suggest his actions might be seen by others as racist. He uses the term racial tourism to define Gus's subterfuge. And Gus tells Vanessa not to worry. I'll teach you everything, he assures her. Every gay man has a black woman crying to get out, he says. The two of them invent this character, Balcony Townsend, and give her a backstory, but soon enough, Gus realizes Balcony has become a real person making demands upon him and assuming her position in the art world. This comedy is very well acted, wonderfully directed by Bo Bratcher. In particular, Jackson carries off 3 roles. She plays Vanessa Thompson and Balcony Townsend, as well as Gus's muse, the wild-haired, over-the-top disco queen, St. Diana of Detroit, modeled after Diana Ross. Also of note, this is being shown in the Lapis Center of the New Orleans Museum of Art, a more appropriate venue I cannot imagine. Only 6 shows left for this work. Director Janet Shea USA, meanwhile, over in Metairie, is getting ready to have an opening night tomorrow at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center for the JPAS newest production of Murder on the Orient Express. This is, of course, based on the Agatha Christie mystery. By way of transparency, I have to let you know I saw a dress rehearsal last night, so I could at least talk about it and give it a little bit of a review before the opening. There are some shots here of some of the female players, Catherine Talbot, Margot Fanning, Helen Blank, and also, of course, missing are some of the gentlemen who are in this. Aside from Allison Logan, the male actors include Leon Convesry, Bob Scully, Jimmy Murphy, and Chris Shaw. And, of course, he plays the famous Hercule Poirot. The massive set is overseen by Eric Porter, and it's designed by Emery Foster, who really does a beautiful job getting all the appointments together. And this adaptation is by Ken Loeb. You may remember he did Lend Me a Tenor, a great comedy writer. There are a number of really funny lines built into the show. I should mention that Catherine Talbot, who you see there, has quite a number of very funny lines. Chris Shaw makes for a great Hercule Poirot, and Earl Ciano as his friend Bulk is also very good. That show, again, opens tomorrow night on Airline Drive. And another big opening this week coming up is The Play That Goes Wrong at Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts, directed by Ricky Graham. Do not forget, some people may be wondering about this. You know, Le Petit did it first, but they're doing it because I believe they secured the rights. Le Petit got to do it first. It's a long story, but it's great. Whatever way we talk about it, a very funny play worth seeing once, twice, three times, wherever. This won the Olivier Award in London, also the Tony Award for Best Play. And I would like to also mention there are a couple of other openings: The Night of the Iguana, Tennessee Williams Theater Company, Lower Depths at Loyola, Billy and Ella at the World War II Museum at BB Stage Door Canteen. And lastly, let me just mention, I took some photos at Autophagie last week. This is Ava Doumbia and Amelia Parent, in the back right there. She was the one who translated the work from the original French. And that was a wonderful work over at the Powerhouse Theater. Here's local actor Karen Kaya Livers with her daughter after the performance. They made their North American preview in New York, and then they came right down here to New Orleans to service up some food as well as the play.
All right. What a fine actor she is, too. And now time for our picks of the week. Poppy.
Saturday. If you've been curious about a Poppy's Pop-Up Drag Brunch, we're popping up at the Tulane Commons, 11 to 1. You just have to buy a ticket to come in, and the tickets are $17. That's for the food. And then mark your calendar for the drag brunch named Desire, part of the Tennessee Williams Festival, coming to the Bourbon House on Saturday, March the 25th.
All right. Alan.
Well, two opportunities. That's two opportunities to see Louisiana Philharmonic people in action. First of all, a reading of the Lorax, the Dr. Seuss book. It'll be Saturday morning at 10:30 with David Rosen on the cello, and that'll be at the Pop Bandstand at City Park. And then next Thursday night, the LPO will be playing Rimsky-Korsakov's Scheherazade along with two brand new works at the Orpheum Theater. You ought to check that out. And again, I'll see you at the theater.
Thank you very much. And the New Orleans Book Festival Tulane is now in session. And here is co-founder and noted author and Tulane history professor Walter Isaacson to tell us all about it.
I think this year we're going to be more involved with the community than ever. And somehow or another, it seems like more and more people are coming in for it. So it's grown quite a bit. And it's a lot of exciting speakers. We have everything from scientists to generals to people who are involved in race and other issues. And then, you know, I'm interested in people like Brian Greene I'm interviewing, who is a great physicist. But of course, we have Amani Perry and Hannah Nicole Jones, as well as some other military leaders who will be interviewed by the president of Tulane. So I think you're going to get a diversity of thought there.
And the book festival continues through Saturday. Go to bookfest.tulane.edu for a full schedule, and it's free. And now, my picks. Here at our studios, WYES presents a screening of the first episode of a brand new season of Sanditon. This Saturday at 1 p.m., tea and sweets will be served. Go to wyes.org/events to get your ticket. Easy parking, too. Also, a few seats left for March 21st Rosedale dinner for the Season of Good Taste dinner there. Go to the same website address for more info on that. On Saturday, the Irish Channel Parade kicks off at 1 p.m. at the corner of Magazine and Felicity Streets. This is this area's oldest St. Patrick's Parade. Go to irishchannel.org for a map. The Britannia Theatre Uptown will host its annual Oscar night screening party. Sunday night at the helm is Phil Melanson, and among his friends are Alfred Clifford Richard, too, will be performing. Go to Britannia.com for more information. And here are the winners of the Carnival Quiz that took place during our recent broadcast of the Rex Ball and Meeting of the Courts, Rex and Comus. The quiz, 3 signature floats, the ones you see every year that roll on the Rex Parade. You could have said the Boeuf Gras, the Streetcar, or the Butterfly King, but there are many more. Complete list on our website. During both balls, a march is played. What opera is it from? Aida by Verdi. Final question. How many blooms adorn the top of Comus's headpiece? 3. The prizes and the winners' names are also posted on the Mardi Gras page at wyes.org/Mardi Gras. Almost 300 entries. And we have such a busy weekend. Also, check out the Birdfoot Classical Music Festival, birdfootfestival.org for details. Thank you all so very much for being at the table, and thank you very much for watching. Good night.
When the wagon comes, you go, sis go, cuz go, auntie go. Every woman's man go when the wagon comes. The girls say I'm a cold-blooded woman, but love is a drastic thing. Don't trust your good man around me. I'll take him and I'm not ashamed. So you go, the queen go, the bride go, your mom go. Every woman's man go when the wagon comes. Recall when I had Tom, Dick, and Harry. Those boys never had a fight. You simple chicks kept on a-talking, told me I wasn't doing right.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao! AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com.